Declare open the fifth meeting of the COP. Dear delegates, we have a text and we need to agree on the text. The time for discussion is coming to an end, and there is no time for hesitation. The time to decide is now. Yesterday, I called a change makers majlis, and there was a new tone in the room and a new spirit of collaboration, openness, engagement, cooperation, and positivity. And I saw a new level of commitment, a new energy, and a new sense of commitment. I also saw a new sense of urgency. I saw people starting to come out of their comfort zones, and I saw them really engage with each other. That said, we must still close many gaps. We don't have time to waste. We must deliver an outcome that respects the science and that keeps 1.5 within reach. When I stood here in front of you as the newly elected president, I asked you to approach this COP with a different mindset and to be cooperative. And I also asked everyone to be flexible. You showed exactly that mindset and that flexibility by taking the historic step of operationalizing the loss and damage on day one. Together, we have the opportunity to deliver history again. We can send a signal to the world that multilateralism does actually work, that this process can respond to what the science is telling us, that it can deliver for the most vulnerable and keep 1.5 within reach. We need to focus everyone on closing out the toughest issues that continue to remain. I need all parties to show even more flexibility to get us to the finish line. The world is watching. Let's not rest until we get this done. Esteemed delegates, yes, we have made progress, but we still have a lot to do. You know what remains to be agreed, and you know that I want you to deliver the highest ambition on all items, including on fossil fuel language. If I can help, my door remains wide open to all of you. You have already shown what a different mindset and a flexible approach can deliver. Now, we must all work much faster, much smarter, and we have no option but working together. We must work collaboratively and we must work together. And we shouldn't allow for anything to get in between the fact that we have all decided that we will stay laser focused on our North Star. Let's keep that focus on our North Star of keeping 1.5 in reach. I thank you. I invite the COP to consider Agenda Item 2H, adoption of the report on credentials. In accordance with Rule 20 of the draft rules of procedure being applied, the Bureau has examined the credentials and submitted its report. The report on credentials is contained in document FCCC/CP/2023/10- FCCC/PA/CMA/2023/14 and FCCC/KP/CMP/2023/8. Based on the report of the Bureau, I invite the conference to accept the credentials of parties attending the session contained in document FCCC/KP/CMP/2023/10-FCCC/KP/CMP/2023/8-FCCC/PA/CMA/2023/14. Hearing no objection, it is so decided. I invite the COP to consider sub-item 2B, adoption of the rules of procedure. You may recall that our first meeting, I proposed that Mr. Ahmed Al-Ghardaqa, a senior member of my delegation, hold consultations on this issue. I thank Mr. Ahmed for taking on this task. While there was an appreciation of the importance of this matter, delegations still maintained their positions on the fundamental issues. As such, I regret to inform the conference that there was no consensus on this matter. I therefore propose that the COP continue to apply the draft rules of procedure contained in document FCCC/CP/1996/2 with the exception of draft rule 42. I also propose that the COP continues consideration of this matter at its 29th session. Hearing no objection, it is so decided. I invite the COP to consider agenda item 2G, dates and venues of future sessions. You may recall that at our first meeting, I proposed that consultations on this matter be concluded by Ms. Hana Al-Hashmi, a senior member of my delegation. Based on the consultations, a draft decision is presented for adoption by the COP. I invite the COP to adopt draft decision entitled Dates and Venues of Future Sessions contained in document FCCC/CP/2023/L.4, and hearing no objections, it is so decided. I'd like to thank Ms. Hana Al-Hashmi for her work. I would also like to recognize Ms. Tina Koblesk and Ms. Eneida Rodeshta, the chairs of the Eastern European Group, for their tireless efforts and their continued engagement.